live on here we are. We're live. Good morning, everybody.
Don't touch the buttons. Hello, good morning all. We're going live here in 1 second on Instagram. It's thinking, it's talking, it's moving. It's having trouble going live. It is what it is. We're live on Kilt's Mighty Tribe, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok,
X,
Instagram,
TikTok, some other stuff.
For some reason, our other.
Oh, hey! I don't know what happened to Dr. Kiltz. He'll be back in a second. Morning, Jeff. I'm sure Dr. Kiltz will be back in a second. He was just here.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy to see you again. Today's your day. Here's Dr. Nelson and Dr. Kiltz will be on here.
I got kicked out. I got kicked out. Crazy.
Oh no. I hope that doesn't happen all
right. It's all good. It's all part of the process. My brothers.
There we go.
Dr. Nelson.
Good morning.
Good morning. Everyone's well, I hope. I know.
We are all well.
Happy and well. Quick highlights.
Animal movie. Gosh.
Animal movie. Everyone, go see, get downloaded. Make sure we have a link on all our stuff. See the animal movie. Let's all get inspired. We're waiting for Healing Humanity movie and another one called Meet Your Maker, MEAT. Today for Kiltz is day 11 of no food, no consumed calories. Feels amazing. And what can we do in life? The answer is anything. Right?
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
And why do we get fat? Why do we get fat? To fast. And getting fat and obesity causes no disease. Done. Fat is not harmful for our body. It's the fuel and the building blocks of our body. So, Dr. Nelson, anything to start the day with before we get to Jeff here?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Nothing except just put your questions in the chat. And I think Ali already mentioned the giveaway, right?
Nope.
I didn't, but I think Jeff is giving away some meat today. That's why I was waiting for Jeff to show up.
What's the giveaway today?
I am. I wasn't aware.
We emailed about it.
What is the giveaway? So everyone listening can know what the giveaway is.
The giveaway is going to be a steak of some sort.
All right. Well, maybe we'll let Jeff tell us the story. Hashtag KMT, Kilt's Mighty Tribe, and it's free to join for everyone. We're working to get everyone in on the discount for all of our stuff as members of Kilt's Mighty Tribe, and even a discount on 3C Chopa meats through Jeff Carlton. So excited about that.
Keyword Dr. Kiltz.
Dr. Kiltz. Keyword
for the discount.
Right. Correct. Doctor spelled out or DR Kiltz, either one will work.
DR Kiltz, and I'm
Kiltz.
Yeah, I'm due you guys a link to spread that around.
Awesome. I love it. KMT. So what do we got going on today, Jeff? Because I know lots of stuff going on down in Texas. I know there's fundraisers going on for those suffering from the floods. Maybe you could lead with that and what we all can do to sort of help heal our lives together.
Well, thanks for mentioning that, Doc. So good morning, good evening, afternoon, everyone. Jeff Charlton here from a little old town in Texas called Joppa. I'm the founder of 3C Joppa Cattle Company, and in the county that this 100-year-old ranch is in, a river goes through it called the San Gabriel River, and occasionally it will flood, but nothing like we saw this last maybe a week ago.
Oh wow.
Don't think we lost any cattle, but it's hard to tell, until I get, when you have a couple hundred head of cattle, it's hard to tell if any of them got swept away. But definitely it was so swift that it would very easily take livestock down the stream with it. But we are all okay. There are some water gaps that are out, some fences that are down, but these are things that come with, being a rancher, right? We are fortunate compared to many of the others who lost lives. And I'm sure you heard about the tragic Camp Mystic, which has been there for years, where many of the girls unfortunately passed away. But we're getting out uncovered from all of that. There's been a lot of I'd say community help. I've had people reach out to me and ask if they could come over and help, and so I think everything is going to be okay. But it's been really, really a hectic, sad week down here.
What is it about beef, do you think, that tends to be the focus on the animals that are raised around the globe, certainly here in America? And we've promoted their value, but we've also demoted their value in the scientific world. What are your thoughts? Why do you think that scientists are basically telling us to limit red meat?
Oh boy, that's first I want to give a disclaimer, guys. So, I am a fairly new rancher, right? I am an IT sales guy, right? That has transitioned from boardrooms and airports to understanding the bovine industry and what makes healthy soil, what helps people heal themselves and their lives through the ingestion of quality beef. So I just want to give that disclaimer. This is something that has been a part-time deal for me until about 2 months ago, when I resigned from corporate America and now am doing the cattle business full time. So I am in deep learning mode, right? But from that perspective, I've learned that there's a certain population out there that just thinks that the cattle are they're going to ruin the world, right? And I had no idea about this until I really got into it. So, the whole regenerative ranching, rotating the pastures, giving the pastures time to recover, improving the soil health and the forage quality, and doing things like no-till drilling instead of literally plowing the topsoil reduces erosion. It just helps things by injecting the carbon into the carbon sequestration. And there are actually ranchers that are around that are getting carbon payments these days. But I think, to answer your question specifically, I think it's just been a big corporate America led lie, I guess I would say. And we know that there are lobbyists out there that make their money from corporate America, and they are but they have really been running with this whole agenda of cows are horrible. Red meat is terrible for your body. And I think corporate America and lobbyists are responsible for that. And the government has not really stepped in. I'd say as of late, they're starting to a little bit. But I don't know if that answers your question, Dr. Kiltz, or not.
Well, obviously our brothers and sisters around the globe are suffering. All diseases are on the rise. Healthcare costs are on the rise. And we're more and more confused as what to do. Now, I'm a doctor, Dr. Nelson and many other people, healthcare providers, and we've been taught that a plant protein, low-fat diet is what you should eat. Beef is bad, and cows are killing the world. And which I've learned purely through accident, not through any scientific journals, just through some some people like yourself out there that are sharing concepts and ideas that are opposite and radical, that maybe the opposite is true. And at the end of the day, no doctor, no government, no expert is in charge of your life but you. And what I've found is through opposite ideas that I know Dr. Nelson and myself and other people that are chastised for supporting and sponsoring a meat-based diet are often ridiculed by the standard professorial methodology. But I'm wondering if there's a mission to sell more plant products, more pharmaceuticals, and keep us weak and meek, or they just believe one thing and it turns out the opposite is true. What were the Americas like 20,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago? What was the main the central core of the grasslands like compared to today?
I would just say that they're much more healthy, right? You have the
what I mean is we're farming it today, but what was it like 2,000 years ago, in the grasslands? I mean, what roamed the country, and were there natural grasslands that don't exist today?
Dinosaurs and buffalo.
Yeah. Right. And so the nature preserved the grasslands that were critical for carbon sequestration, right? And the last I looked, it was the human influx and damaging the grasslands, cutting down the forests, and removing these animals and planting continuous rows of corn, wheat, rice, sorghum, and I'll go down the list. I don't even know what else is there. And that's not what's happening today, is it?
No, not at all.
Dr. Nelson, any interjection?
Not at this moment. No questions at the moment. I was just visiting your website, Jeff, because I'm on your email list. And for those that are going to take advantage of going into the website, there's an offer for a free freezer with a when you buy a share of a quarter, half, or whole beef. Just that's a
why
pretty good value.
What's the value in buying a whole, half, quarter, or eighth of meat and putting it in your freezer versus going every other day to buy your meat?
Now we're talking my language, guys. Thank you for mentioning that. So, this is the first time in my life, really, that I have been representing. I've been a salesperson all my life, and this is the first time I've been literally selling something that everybody wants. They just don't know who to trust, right? They just don't know what. I've never ever met someone that said, "Oh no, Jeff, I would rather buy grocery store beef than have the beef right off of the ranch." Never has that. It's like many things, maybe not a good analogy, but most of us need life insurance. We're just not sure who we should go buy it from. They just don't know who to trust. The same with the beef. Now that there is a bit of a raised awareness, I will call it, amongst the masses, even our children, in what a shitty food system we have. Our kids are talking about that. We never talked about that when we were kids. But because of that, because of, I think, the rise of the carnivore diet, and the fact that I think the medical community and people are starting to realize that nutrition and what you eat really is a lot more important to your health than what in the past, right? So the value really is three things. One is convenience, right? One is nutrition, knowing exactly what that animal ate before you eat it, right? You basically transparency, right? See, so it's a feel good thing. You know exactly what you're eating. The second is buying in bulk. Or third, buying in bulk really is more economical. Like anything, if you buy a lot of something, the price per unit is going to be lower. So those are really the things. It's price, it's the health, the taste of the beef, and it's the convenience of having it right there where you don't have to go try to interpret these labels that are in grocery stores to determine what cut of beef that you want, because many of them are not only confusing, they're very misleading.
Mm-hmm. Which cuts of meat do you have any thoughts? Again, Dr. Nelson also can bring into this that are more healthy. And do you think the organ meats are often misunderstood and left out of our diet? And are there ways to secretly introduce it to our diet by maybe mixing it with the ground beef?
I love that question. Yes. I guess you've read about our Chief Beef Primal Pack, which is basically it's organ infused ground beef. And another learning thing, I've probably learned more in the last, I'd say 6 months about new things, including this organ meat and how nutritious it is, than I have in any 6-month period of my life. It's just been it's been exciting and a little bit stressful as well. But yes, so we did a test. We started mixing in different organs, and we would have blind taste tests, and we dialed in the exact percentage of offals, is what they're referred to. That's the kidney, the thymus, the pancreas, the cheek beat, the heart, the kidney, these types of organs, super high in nutrients, and mixing it in with our regular ground beef. And we probably did that for about 2 or 3 months with all kinds of different mixing ratios, and finally came to a 10% equal parts of pancreas, liver, thymus, cheek beat, and I guess kidney. 6 different offals, and mix that in at a 10% rate into our ground beef. And you can still taste a little bit of a difference, but you wouldn't want to make hamburgers out of it. But when you're talking about mixing it in with other food, that high nutrient offal infused ground beef has been really, really popular with a certain segment of our customers that are really, really focused on health and nutrition. And the gym rats love it. The folks that are in there trying to build muscles love that high nutrient offal infused ground beef.
Why do you think we've sort of shied away from it in general, these organ meats, which include, what are the organ meats again?
So there's the thymus, pancreas, there's the cheek meat, there's the kidney, there's the liver, there's the heart, and the brain, but we don't mix the brain in with
why is it, what is it about the brain that we're sort of like, oh, you better be careful or you shouldn't do that? Or
I don't know the answer to that. I really don't.
Is it the history of the Creutzfeldt Jacob what's the name of it, Dr. Nelson?
Well, it was because of the mad cow disease mainly, I think.
Right. And so it probably isn't really true. What happens to the brains of those animals that you sacrifice?
I have no idea, Dr. Kiltz. We don't even bring it home from the processor because it would take up freezer space, and I mean, what am I going to do with it? Right.
Well, that's a good question. So you raise the cattle,
and
then you ship it to the processor. They process it and package it. And where does it go from there?
I go pick it up at the processor, and then I start shipping the beef nationwide to our customers, or delivering it within, 100-mile radius myself. But I will tell you, when we first started doing the direct-to-consumer business, which is about half of our entire cattle operation, the other half of it is we sell our calves at about 400 to 500 pounds at 6 months of age directly to JBS Foods. And it's I'll say faster, quicker, easier money. I don't have to do any marketing for that side of the business. I do the direct to consumer. Direct to consumer, we raise our animals until they're 24 months of age. So we're really pouring a lot of time and effort and money into these animals for 24 months. And at 24 months, they get slaughtered. And as you said, packaged, wrapped, flash frozen. I then go pick it up and either distribute it that day to my customers or put it in my freezers here at the ranch and then sell it from there.
How many tomahawk ribeyes can I get from a cow?
I don't know. Haven't done
12?
that before. I would say 8 because I have a whole prime rib roast, actually 2 of them. And there's 8. Yep. And
so I get 16. I get 16.
8 per side, I would think.
So if I want 16 tomahawk ribeyes, you can handle it?
I can handle it, but that would be if a tomahawk. Never have processed any of them because it's a show thing, Doc.
Haven't yet.
Yeah.
Haven't yet.
Yeah.
Right? Haven't yet. That's okay. That's all right. Now, let me ask you something. Do you grain finish your beef or is it strictly grass finished?
Grain finished. And we do that purposely because we like to do blind taste tests, and quite honestly, the nutrition difference between the two is so minimal, and grain finishing in my mind is less harmful on the environment. I mean, if we had to grass finish all of these animals to feed, like there's about 84 million cows on feed in the United States right now, right at 85, 86 million, which is smaller herd size than we've had for 75 years. The herd size is so small right now. And that's one of the reasons beef is so expensive, right? And there's reasons why the herd size is as small as it is. But I forget what your question was now.
Grass finish versus grain finish.
Right. So we do the blind taste. Thank you. The blind taste test. Grain finished always wins in taste, in texture, because it's not as lean, and grass finished beef is harder to cook. And if you don't know what you're doing, it's really difficult. So I want to clarify that our grain finishing for 120 days is non-GMO, made up of hominy, beets, barley, all non-GMO grain.
Do you put them in a small pen to feed them that way, or do you feed them out on the grass?
Well, there's a process for that, right? So depending on how old they are, at the time we wean, WEAN them from their mother, they're about 6 months of age, and those babies are all fed in a trough, where the weaning process is really, really hard on both the mom and the baby. So we have to do that gradually. And so I'm feeding all of those weaned calves in troughs in a barn, protected, because they're just bawling for 3 days to the point where they can't even, you can't even hear they'll be going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the mothers, if you do not get the mothers away, they will go through fences. They will do everything they can to get back with their mothers, and they're just like,
they're just like us.
Right. 30-day
menstrual
cycle, 9-month gestation. Yeah.
Wow.
That's probably why humans like to drink milk, because we want to continue our sense of being with our mom, which is deadly.
Right.
Jeff, could you step back or at least show your shirt so people could see the KMT shirt? Yeah, love you.
Mighty
You
Tribe.
got that at the Austin meetup, correct? You got that at the Austin meetup?
Nice. So
where we met.
How much, there's a couple questions. How much, if someone wanted to buy a calf and raise a cow at home, what's a calf cost for people to buy?
Oh gosh. So I sell my calves, about half of them. We produce probably about 100 American Wagyu calves, which American Wagyu is 50% Wagyu and 50% Angus. And right now, prices are higher, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Nelson, Aaliyah, everyone else, than they've ever been. I'm selling 500 to 600 pound calves for $2,000, right?
Wow.
And they're only 6 months old. And these animals, since they are American Wagyu, and the Wagyu species does not really start marbling until about 12 months of age. That's one of the big differences between the Wagyu species from Japan. And by the way, Wa in Japan means cow. Excuse me. Gu is cow. Wa in Japanese is, I forgot.
I just Japanese cow.
I'm gonna find
is
out.
That Japanese cow?
Japanese cow. I forgot. I just read it a minute ago. Wasn't that brilliant? But
I prefer, by the way, grain finished over grass finished. I want fatty meat. No animal wants lean except human beings, which are brainwashed against fat. Too many carnivores eat too little fat, and that's part of the problem. And they overcook their meat. It should be rare to raw, and that's part of our biggest problem. So I guess you sell meat to what's the name of the processor?
JBS. So they're like one of the big four. Like they're at like a Tyson or a Cargill.
You said something earlier, which I kind of, the food production and delivery in America is amazing. We are no longer starving. We're no longer in bread lines. The world is not starving like it used to, but we've missed the point. We're not feeding slaves, soldiers, peasants, and prisoners. We're feeding lions. And we've missed the most important food, which is beef. I will eat beef over chicken, fish, turkey all day long. Pork and lamb is good, but beef somehow is the very best. And what's the difference between raising pigs, goats, and beef, do you think? Maybe Dr. Nelson, you got your opinions too, or anyone else here.
I think cow is delicious. I prefer that over anything else.
We eat primarily beef in the United States. All over the world, the most commonly one is goat. They're both good. I grew up eating goat and beef. In Puerto Rico, there's not so much lamb. Those are the three primarily that I would probably go and eat. I haven't had much venison. I think only once in my life. I like bison. By the way, there's no buffalo in the United States. It's bison. But we eat what we're used to. In the United States, we're used to eating beef. I love beef. As a matter of fact, I put last night chuck roast to cook for my family, even though I'm on my 7th day of fasting today.
I'm on 11.
So
nice going, guys. Well done.
But I've got no butter, no bone broth, nothing. Not again. Everyone finds their own fast, but I would say that even a butter fast is way different. And I think eating fat, raw butter, like the white stuff from the cow, is the healthiest thing you can do. And I'm going to say it again. Obesity causes no disease. The diseases are caused by poisonous plants, fermentation of plants, and a low-fat diet, and that's as simple as that.
There you go. I'm just gonna say I love lamb also. I translated Wagyu. I'm probably saying it wrong.
It's
Wagyu.
Japanese cow. It's Japanese
Yeah,
cow.
Japanese cow.
Raw
Yeah.
Japanese cow and Wagyu is cow.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Japanese
Right.
cow.
We said that. Right. And again, so I'm assuming Dr. Nelson or Jeff comment that so goat is the number one consumed meat in the world.
Red meat.
Wow.
No, goat.
Yeah.
Goat versus cattle.
Among the red meats, the goat is the number one consumed.
What's
in
the
world.
number one
Interesting.
animal consumed in the world? Is it
Probably a chicken.
Chicken. Or I think it's chicken.
I
let's
would
Google
think.
that quickly and
I'm
find that
asking
out.
AI. I'm asking AI right now.
Yeah. What's the hardest part?
It's pig. It's pig,
Pig.
A
apparently.
pig. All right. And which is probably the
I love
wild
pig.
one, the really amazing meat, high fat content, and in general, they eat anything, right?
They do.
Right on.
Number 2 is chicken, and beef is number 3, followed by
All
goat,
right.
lamb, and buffalo. That's what it says here. That's what AI says.
But in general, before our industrial production of these animals, chicken, was like, go back 200 years ago, 500, 100 years ago. I'm just curious because chicken is mass produced. Now, so are many other
Right.
animals. But historically, what did we travel the world with? I guess chicken and pigs were big.
Mhm.
We're big. What's the
Easy to
hardest part
transport.
of the raising of cattle, Jeff?
Oh, the hardest part is the you're never in control, guys. That's the thing. Mother Nature is the dictator of this business. Like I have never thought I would be watching the weather and rain. I mean, rain is like little pennies falling out of the sky for ranchers. And I'm really not in the ranching business or the cattle business. I'm in the grass business and the nutrition business. Truthfully, those are the things that really are. If I do not have, a product that is highly nutritious and sought after, people are not going to want to buy it. And if I don't have grass to feed my cattle, then they won't survive. So I would say things like these floods, the drought we've been in for the last 3 years, I had no idea how to prepare for that. That was a total surprise. So yeah, it's the things that you're just not controllable, regardless how much money you throw at it, how much time you throw at it. You just can't control the Mother Nature, which has a big impact on our ranchers. And we farm a little bit as well.
What do you farm?
We plant oats, which is a winter crop, and then we no-till drill the oats, and then we put a cover crop typically of like Austrian winter peas, which has a big nitrogen content that injects into the ground. So those are really the two things. Sometimes we'll plant some it's called Sudan hay. We don't actually do the baling. We just plant the seed, and then we have someone come behind and bale it for us, because we don't want to buy all the equipment to do that. It's probably more expensive to buy the equipment than have someone else do it. And then you give them, a quarter of whatever the harvest is.
So is there's a question from Carolina Larson, maybe Dr. Nelson. You mentioned that visceral fat is not dangerous. what basis lies the perception that visceral fat is dangerous? Is anything your body makes in you dangerous, or is it the plant poisons that actually damage our cells and create inflammation in a low-fat diet that's actually the cause of disease? I say yes. Fat is the master fuel and building block for your body. If you can't make fat, you're dead. Type 1 diabetics die of starvation because they can't make fat. And cirrhotic patients die the same way. They cannot make fat. And fat is the master fuel for every other organism. They make it to thrive and survive famines, gestation, migration, and hibernation. And I'll bet $1 billion our fight against fat is the fault of our follies. It's like it's so simple, and that's why Wagyu or Angus fatty meat is what the masters eat. What is the most expensive cut of beef? What does a Wagyu steak look like? A5. Masterly marbled, right?
Masterly marbled with the monosaturated fats and omega-3s much higher in the Wagyu species than it is in, a native animal like a Hereford or let's say an Angus. Nothing wrong with Hereford, nothing wrong with Angus, but when you do bring in that Wagyu and the amount of marbling that it does provide, it is, I would say, more healthy than, just native. When you go into the grocery store and you see Angus Prime, and you have a choice to buy that Angus Prime steak versus a American Wagyu steak, the American Wagyu steak is going to be more nutritious and higher in monosaturated fats and omega-3s than a native. Again, nothing wrong with just buying an Angus steak. I'm just saying that what you're referring to with the Wagyu species and the amount of fat that they put in. But the interesting thing about this is something we learned the hard way, is the native animals like the Angus and the Herefords and the Chianeas, whatnot, they really start marbling month 1 of their birth. And then the marbling is like straight up, not straight up, but a pretty good vertical up, hockey stick up for 12 months. And typically your native animals like Angus are slaughtered at 12 to 18 months of age. Whereas the Wagyu really, they're not a flat line for the first 12 months of their age, but they're very hardly vertical up at all on the marbling until they reach 12 months of age, right in 12. And at that 12 months, if you look at the graph, it's literally a straight up in terms of the amount of marbling that starts happening inside of a Wagyu animal.
The cows on grass, and our grasslands are not what they used to be in the wild because they're highly manipulated today. And I'm assuming, and I imagine many of the grasslands were once farmlands in many places, but I'm also assuming that many of places like where you are in Texas were not as good for farming, but better for ranching anyway. But I imagine like human beings go after the fruiting of the plants. Do the cows also focus on they love to eat the fruiting of the plants, and ultimately the seedlings are kind of the fruitlings of the plants anyway?
Well, you're talking about the power of native Texas grasses now, and this is the reason we don't plow out here anymore. We just do no-till drill, because the native Texas grasses are the best things that these cattle can eat for themselves, right? And there's, in this part of the country, there's the big blue stems, the little blue stems, Indian grass, switchgrass, grama. These are kind of the big 5 that we have in this part of the country. And You're exactly right. Where our cattle are right now is on a large pasture that used to be farmed for cotton back in the 30s. This ranch has been in my family, my wife's family, for 100 years, and they used to raise cotton in this crappy soil out here. I can't believe it. They would even grow it. You can still see the berms, where they would berm it so it wouldn't erode away. But now the native grasses have taken over, and we do things like basically the low cost ways to improve a pasture are you cut all the cedar trees out of it, which are basically a very invasive type of a Christmas looking kind of tree. We call them cedar trees. Is to get rid of them and then go in and start doing things like aerating, just poking holes down into the soil. So when you do get moisture, it goes down into the roots, and then mowing and shredding those pastures on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, monthly basis, depending on how much rain you get. That is really the most effective way to improve a pasture. We probably do more pasture improvement out here than we do really anything in terms of the work. So yeah, the grasses are they're key out. They're key out here for good cattle health.
Well, one of my points a little bit is we go after the fruiting, which is the seed of the plant. Cows are smart too. They'll do the same thing. And the reason they love the grains, because that's the part of the plant they love the most at the right time of the season, so they can fatten up for the winter. And so we're realizing that why do we go for seeds and nuts and fruits over? I mean, none of us are eating vegetables in our past of any significant frequency. We're eating the fatty meat and the fruit. That's likely our go-to. Getting, nuts and then crushing them probably wasn't our mainstay, because you're not likely going to feed a community very well on that. But the big mammoths, the big beasts are much, much more edible. And back to the visceral fat and obesity. Our obesity epidemic was created in a low-fat diet environment. When there's no fat consumed, our body thinks there's starvation or there's lack of what you really should eat. So your body's going to work to get fat, and it's going to make you addicted to these things in order to get fat so you can survive nature's typical famines, pestilence, diseases, and lack of easy access to fatty meat and food. So it gets you through the bad harvest. And I imagine through our civilization's evolution, there are many of bad hunts and bad harvests, for sure. Now, I am 11 days into my no food. My energy is amazing. I can walk for days with my energy. What's the fuel for this body? That's fat. Am I losing muscle? No, I'm not. I'm building muscle every day. I do my weights and walking. And I will tell you, the opposite of everything that modern scientists and medicine are teaching us is true. Fat is the best thing to eat. Throw some salt in, and chicken, fish, turkey has no fat, in my opinion. And most beef is raised and harvested and sold to you without the most important thing on it, which is fat. And in some ways, I wonder if they're trying to make you sick and have to go see another one of the profiteers, doctors, or just propagandists in selling you another drug. Now, I'm not putting any doctor down because I'm one of those.
We have a bunch of questions, Dr. Kiltz.
Tons of questions. You want to go? Here we go. High fat Venice. Thank you, Jeff Carlton. for taking the leap into the ranching world. Not an easy path, and so helpful for us all that you're taking care of our land. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet to hear. That's great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Chris Juilliard, there seems to be a controversy about grass-fed. Is it okay to consume what is available? Yes. Consume what you can.
So let me just, this is a very common thing that people don't understand. They say grass-fed beef. All bovine, all cattle are grass-fed, right? What I think people are really meaning to say when they say grass-fed, they think in their mind, oh, this cow's staying on grass this entire life and never eating anything. Well, that's not true. In fact, you can have fully grass-fed, grass-finished beef that are in a feedlot. Just because you have a grass-fed, grass-finished animal does not mean they've not gone to a feedlot, because feedlots feed these animals grass pellets, right? That's another common misconception. People think, oh, grass-fed, grass-finished, never going to a feedlot. So anyway, all cows are grass-fed. What really is the difference is how they're finished, grain finished or grass finished. So sure, you can eat full grass finished beef, no problem, and it's not going to hurt you if you want to. It's not going to taste as good as a grain finished steak.
Okay.
It is so essentially cows eat plants.
Cows eat plants.
That's their natural diet. In order to feed the world more efficiently and potentially more economically, okay, there's always a drive to compete for price also in everything we do. And so the feedlot, because it was getting them fatter faster at a younger age to provide quality food for America and the world. That's our mission. And so is a feedlot cow unhealthy for you to eat? I have my opinion.
Yes. So not all feedlots are the same, right? So when you say feedlot, that encompasses a lot of different types of feedlots, right? So what most of us think of feedlot are the big JBS Tyson, where the animals are crammed in there and they're eating GMO, typically types of grains. So if you think that eating GMO is unhealthy, then I think you could consider it maybe not unhealthy, but not as healthy as it could be.
Well, that my point a little bit is, for everyone out there in this country, this world, eat meat. The worst meat is better than the best plant, in my opinion.
Right.
A plant-based diet is the cause of disease. A meat-based diet is the cause of your health and wellness, and taking your mind back, taking your direction back. And so now you're beginning to discern. You can now see the world clearly. And now you are looking to say, hey, I now want to discern and get the best raised, the healthiest meat, which is from a local producer or global producer on a scale of free range, grass finished or grain finished. You pick it however you like it, but you want to focus on the fat, the organ meats, and 3C Jopa Ranch provides that. Would you agree?
I agree 100%. We probably could sell our beef as organic, but just getting the whole organic license is expensive and takes forever.
Marketing label not necessary.
Right.
Yep. But yeah, we don't feed our animals any crapola, right? No, it's all natural, non-GMO related, and no hormones given. Now, I will give if I have a cow or an animal calf that has a cut or something and there's getting an infection, I'm going to give that animal an antibiotic because I don't want it to die, right? So,
well, if you think of it, what animal in the world takes the most antibiotics?
Humans.
Which animal takes most vaccines? Humans. What other animal puts non-edible foods in their bowel like fiber? Humans. All right. And so we blame the cows and other animals for the problems of the world. But in fact, last I looked, who makes nuclear weapons or wants to go to Mars?
Humans.
Humans. And so we're manipulated by a complicated science. I don't know what an omega-3 and 6 is. It's all BS. All right? You want to eat fatty animal meat because plants don't make fat, they make oil. And the last I looked, right, you could never get a plant oil naturally of any significance. It must be industrially produced. Even avocado, coconut, and olive oil are all produced by industrial processors that employed slaves, soldiers, peasants, prisoners, and the mob. Right? So,
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Jeff, is all the animals you have, are they Wagyu, or do you have other types of beef, Angus, or whatever else?
So we breed registered Angus cows. Okay. That I would say about half of them they're what we call AI cows, artificially inseminated. So we have usually about 5 Angus bulls on hand at all times that are all AI bulls. And I don't know if this resonates, but we've AI'd these bulls with like Michael Jordan type of semen where they're like super good bulls, right? We breed these registered cows that come from the bull and the cow, and then we breed those with registered Wagyu bulls. So registered Wagyu bulls are bred with registered Angus cows, and that is 90% of what we produce here.
I need some ribeyes, tomahawks from a 3CJ, by the way, and a rack would be nice. Boy, that would look great. Is it easy to raise cattle, or there's some dangers to the people doing the work in raising these animals? They're big. They've got a brain of their own.
They are, and I will say that working the calves can be very dangerous because you would be shocked how strong and agile a 1-month-old calf is, really and truly. And so the mama cows, although they're bigger, the calves are the ones you have to really worry about when you're working them, because we do it like you see on TV, right? We round them up, we cut the calves from the mamas, we brand them, we castrate the bulls, we dehorn them, we do all of the things that you see on TV, right? And for some reason, that seems to be a fairly popular thing, because we have literally 10 to 15 people, sometimes 20, that show up every year when we're doing workings that they want to help. I don't pay them anything. I give them an American Wagyu burger for lunch, but they come from hundreds of miles away to come participate out here while we're working these calves, and they love it.
Can I come? Can we come?
You darn right you can. Heck, you can be my ear tagger.
Hey, what device do you use to castrate the steer?
It's called this right here.
Who makes that? Who's got it? Is that Mike Calicrate's device?
It's just this. It's just a pocket knife.
Oh,
I just cut the scrotum off the very bottom. Cut the scrotum. Pull the testicles down, way down, and then cut them, and that's it.
You don't tie them?
Nope.
They bleed for a little bit and then it stops?
Sometimes they bleed. Most of the time they don't.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You could be my castrator, Doc.
All right. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Yeah, we've had some injuries before. People getting kicked, people getting run over.
Well, how do you control what age do you castrate them?
The smaller the better, because they just, you know.
Is that a year or what year?
Oh no. We're talking anywhere from a month to no more than 3 months. If they get over 3 months, you can't get them into the calf table. They're so big that they really are really dangerous. So we try to get them and we only breed 4 months out of the year, right? And so I want these calves born all within 1 to 4 months, so we can kind of work them all together instead of, you know, having to have these people come out 3 or 4 times a year.
Do you raise any pigs or chicken?
No. This ranch used to be sheep, though, back, you know, my wife you've probably seen some of her social media where she's talking about the history of the ranch, where, you know, back in the 30s, it was cotton, transitioned from cotton to sheep. You know, they had thousands of sheep out here. And then from sheep, we transitioned into cattle in the 50s and 60s. So those are really the types of animals that have been out here on the ranch for, you know, 100+ years.
Amazing. I don't know if you answered this already. How many head do you process a year?
Anywhere from 75 to 100.
Oh, okay.
And about half of those are sold directly to JBS Foods, and, you know, a third or half of those are sold direct to consumer via our website, and where anybody in the Mighty Tribe gets a 10% discount by using the discount code DRKILTS. And I will send you that link, Aaliyah, Dr. Nelson. I'm having a little technical issue with Shopify is the reason I haven't sent that yet.
Okay.
And not to go into the details, but
no worries.
And I love talking beef. So if there's anybody out there that wants to call and just talk about, because most people have never bought beef directly from a rancher. It's a new thing for people.
Right.
And they want to understand, what are they getting into, right?
Right.
And when you buy a whole beef, you know, your average price per pound is going to be about $15, you know. And if you look at what an American Wagyu ribeye costs right now, American Wagyu, you're 50, 60, sometimes $70 a pound. So
if I buy the whole cow, including all those ribeyes, big cut with the bone, what am I going to pay per pound?
$15.
$15. Including shipping. What does it cost, including shipping?
That is including shipping.
And a freezer.
And a free freezer, yes. If you buy a quarter, you'll be guaranteed a minimum of 120 pounds of beef. Your dollar per pound for a quarter beef is going to be $18. You buy a half of a beef, you're going to get 240 pounds of beef, and you're going to pay $17 a pound, $16 a pound. Whole beef, you'll get 480 pounds minimum. So you know, people say, "I'd love to have your beef, Jeff. I just don't have a freezer." And so I say,
I'll send it to you.
I'll send it to you.
So essentially, let's say, when I was young, I probably plowed a bunch of food. Now I eat about a pound a day. If I don't eat, I lose about a pound a day. And so the fuel for this Ferrari is about a pound a day of meat, because that's all I eat. So
wow, that's not a lot. I thought it would be way more than that.
I lose a pound a day doing my normal stuff. I'm not a marathon runner. I don't do any of that of any significance anymore. I get up, I go to work, I do my walking 3 miles, I do my weights, I take my nap or two. But again, each person has to find their set point, but I pretty much eat the same thing every day. I'm a ribeye steak guy or a strip steak, but 99% I eat the ribeye. It's not a whole ribeye. I might cook it, slice it up, and eat it the next few days. I throw in some eggs from time to time. And so, it may be, think about it, take that and do a year of that. For so many people, we likely overeat, most of us, because our biggest problem in the world, in the country, is obesity. So that means we're in general eating more calories than our body burns in a day, which is simple math.
So a pound a day is what you're eating of beef. Like, okay, now yeah, I think that's probably, because I'd say I'm about 90% carnivore, and I'm just sitting here thinking about what weigh
it out. Look at it.
Ribeye is about 1.5 pounds for ribeye with the bone in.
Oh, okay.
And I eat about a half, but again, I get big, thick ribeyes. They're not saw cut. They're knife cut between the bones. All right. This is, to me, 3 meals a day is deadly for human beings. You fuel the Ferrari, you go to work. And if you're getting fat, you're eating too much food. And obesity is simply a brain game. And the master marketers of breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks are killing you. And that's as simple as that. And so eat the fatty meat. There's no fiber. There's no plant poisons. And that's what we all should be doing. Dr. Nelson, any other questions before we sign off with Jeff?
We do have a long list of questions, but
get a couple of them, and then maybe one of us can do an off-site review of the questions and put that out live as a post. Also, we'll work on that.
Okay. What is the fattiest cut of meat in your opinion? My favorite cut is the rib cut, short ribs.
Short ribs by far.
Which is really so the short rib is the short rib cut away from the rib roast essentially?
Oh, Doc, I
which ribs are they? I wonder. The short ribs. I mean, essentially, they're the continuation to the bacon, the pork belly or the beef belly, the ribs, and then the loin, right? The rib loin, strip loin. I think that's it. But next one.
I should know it, and this is one of the learning things, right?
Yeah, we're doing it together. I'm really grateful you're doing this, by the way, because you're out there. Because without people going into this business, we would be in bad business.
Right.
Tomorrow morning. I'm going to my processor into the actual processing plant, and I'm going to watch them process, cradle to grave process animals. And so I'm going to be taking pictures and do some posts on that.
Oh, good. Cool. Because without that, and these beautiful animals are honored through what they do to keep us alive and healthy.
Exactly. Should we do the giveaway?
One or two more questions and then we'll do it.
Okay, good. Let's see. Jeff, how long does your butch let the beef hang before processing?
14 days for the aging process. I can go more if a person buys a full animal. I can do whatever that person wants. If they buy a full animal, they can process it how they want. We can dry age it as long as you want. We can make jerky. We can make sausage. We can cut them into dino ribs. We can do whatever you want if you buy a full animal.
You'll make the jerky and the sausage. And what about blood? Can you do blood sausage?
Have never had that question asked.
What animal what lets the animal drip dry before eating it?
The human animal.
Only the human animal. What other animal processes their meat and cooks it? No other animal but humans.
Yeah. Yep.
One more question, then we'll move on.
All right. Let's see.
This one.
No, which one? Was it this one?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Why has the beef memory declined so much? So thank you, Michael. It is primarily because of the drought conditions. When you don't have rain, you have to either buy hay or some other type of feed to feed your animals. And there are ranches that are going out of business literally daily because they've not been able to feed their animals. So they just sell the animals, right? And now the herd size is so low. Demand is strong demand for beef right now with very little supply. Economics 101, right? So that's one of the reasons the prices are so high. So luckily, be careful what you wish for. I'm out doing the rain dance the last month, please rain, and be careful what you wish for. We got a lot of rain.
Yeah.
And in general, so why do you think the demand for beef is on the rise?
I mean, these kids are talking about this carnivore diet. Our kids are talking about the shitty food system we have. We never, really and truly, I'm almost 60. I didn't start reading labels till maybe 2 years ago, and really just started going carnivore when we transitioned to direct to consumer, which was during COVID, when somebody came over and said, I can't buy beef in the store. And he said, you have cows, don't you, Jeff? I said, yeah, right there. He said, well, why aren't we eating your cows? And I said, I don't know. Let's look into that. And that's where the whole direct to consumer thing started, was during COVID.
A plant cereal-based diet is deadly for human beings. Fruits, fiber, vegetables, seeds, and nuts of any significance or frequency is a starvation diet for human beings. In our ancient past, we hunted and killed and ate every single nook and cranny of that animal. And eating beef is the best food for all humans, including the fat and the organ meats, and rare to raw is best. Throw on some salt. I love a little butter and blue cheese. And let's have a cookout, Jeff.
Oh, I am so pumped about that, Doc. Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited about that for you both.
Hit the button, Alia.
We're doing
Hit the button, Alia.
Thank you, everyone.
Woo!
So thank you, everyone, for being here. Questions, comments, ideas. We're on. Is there a live tomorrow, Dr. Nelson?
Tomorrow morning and at 3 p.m.
Cool.
Same channel.
All right.
Yeah, and exactly.
Sarah 1012, Ali at drkiltz.com. We'll take a look at it. Shout out, Jeff. What's your wife's YouTube or website, Jeff?
My website's 3cjapacattlecompany.com.
And how about your wife's? You said she's posting some stuff on the farm.
That's all coming from my website. It's her tape, but it's going out through my Instagram and whatnot. So I wish maybe Aaliyah, you could put the website up or something, or
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put that website up for everyone, and we got to come down and visit. And what's the foundation that's looking to get some donations to help those suffering from the? Do you know that one? Is that on your website also?
It is on the website. It's a pop-up. We're running it through July 31st. It is for the we're giving 10% of our gross proceeds to the flood victims in Texas. So thank you. Really appreciate it.
Okay, everybody. See you later. Goodbye.
Have a good day.
Giddy up.